All right, boom, just like that, we're back. So, I had to decide, guys. I had to decide whether or not I was going to take you with me on my journey. And I was like, you know what? That's not the point. So, I'm actually back. I've just gone and done it. And I have to say, it was pretty freaking cool, man. Pretty freaking cool. I'm feeling a bit funny right now. Do you know how that whole nervous system expansion contraction situation? Well, that's the story, right? There's some limiting beliefs keeping me from staying and keeping that course, keeping that momentum strong. It's a bit of a bugger, really, but hey, far out. I just listened to some Joe Dispenza today. It was so fucking epic. Just a good reminder on what to do and how to program ourselves. Gratitude is the vibration, the energy of receptivity and receiving. So the more grateful we are, the easier it is for us to receive. Isn't that nice? I had to make a decision, guys, whether or not I take you with me or I go treat it like a vision quest, a real one, where I make the most of it and really just sort of deepen into the experience by putting my phone away. So I did that. Gosh, we are so lucky to be living in a place in this country in New Zealand that has these beautiful bushwalks everywhere, especially on Waiheke Island where I'm at. There's heaps of places just to go walk in the bush, because that's what I did. The last 3 days I've been in the bush, I've been fasting, I've been spending time with me, myself and I actually had a relatively unsuspected comrade join me. Me and her had some shared some quality time, and yeah, it definitely added a whole new element, a whole new layer to the experience. But the intention was to find some clarity. The intention was to find some clarity, deepen my awareness, purify, refresh my memory, and my just basically release, get back to nature, and just let go of all of these attachments that no longer serve. Food was an interesting one, right? You know, when you're not eating food and the hunger pangs come in, it's quite difficult. You've got to have some discipline, you know, around that. I mean, we didn't even have any food, so we had no choice. There was no should we just have a little muesli? But there was none of that. So it was pretty easy to just get through the hunger, because there was no going back from the moment we decided to do it. So it took about 2 hours to find the camp and about an hour to get back, because finding things takes longer to retrace your steps. We had to cut tracks and, you know, bush bash and find private roads and go into private driveways, and it was all private land. This is in Anawhata. It's a very beautiful place. There was it was mountainous, the most beautiful place you've seen. Gorgeous trees, lush landscapes, beautiful birds, big kahus. Saw a real big eagle, a falcon, heaps of tuis and heaps of beautiful birds flying around, kereru's. Yeah, it was really special. And the river was gorgeous. It was so nice. It was like clear blue. And finding that was a treat, because we actually had to fill our water bottle somehow. So living off the land looked like collecting water from the stream, harvesting firewood from the forest. We made fires to keep ourselves warm, but it was mainly just for our spirits, you know, just to keep the spirits high, because it's quite interesting being out in the wild. You know, there's not much to keep you going because we get used to our devices, we get used to our attachments, we get used to our cravings, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, without any of that, it's like, fuck, what do I do? What am I going to do? Luckily, I had a book, and that book I'll talk about more in more episodes to come from Jam. So I had exercises, and my intention was to sun stare. Oh yeah, we've had a big tree come down. Check it out, eh? On the path. Oh, can't even see it. Yeah. Da-da-dun. Gosh, holding the camera this way is so strange. They've they've done some mahi in here. But yeah, you can kind of see this whole tree's come down. Yeah, there's been heaps of that. We had some crazy weather here in New Zealand a few days ago. It's nuts. Just before, a few days before I left, actually, about a week ago. It was real hardcore. But anyway, so it was a beautiful experience. It was a really beautiful experience. The benefits were pretty profound. I feel like those benefits, they lasted a whole 3 days. I climbed and peaked. We went to a beautiful restaurant. We had some nice food after. We made the decision. We're like, all right, 3 days was going to be 5, and then we came together and we're like, you know what? This feels good. It feels complete, you know? We don't really want to beat a dead horse here. We feel good this time. So we did the thing, and we left, and we had some nice fish from a Japanese restaurant, raw fish, tempura. It was so nice. Had an asahi, a little bit naughty, you know. And then woke up the next day, watermelon coffee, watched the sun come up. Went out to the quarry. Didn't jump in though because the water wasn't looking so flash. That's out to Bethel's, it's a good place. Check it out. I used to go there quite often. But anyway, so yeah, there was some crazy benefits. I'm going to look for a nice little spot to sit down and ground in. I've got some fresh hape arrived today, so I'm very excited to try that. Some real nice hape. Oh, this place is real special place. There's a big glade over here. Some trees fell down and it's opened up this big spot in the forest. So it's a really nice little space to just go and sit down in. So here it is. I'll take us down. Gosh, that's a good tree there. Awesome. Big purity tree there. I love how they open up like that. I hope I don't get munted by mozzies, although I'm kind of used to that. So, yeah, as I was saying, just got some nice tobacco in, some nice hape. Looking forward to have something that grounding in. I had a bit of a blowout last night. It's just coming back to that nervous system kōrero, that conversation that we had, I think, on my latest video. It's just about how we seem to be our worst enemy. And what I mean by that is we seem to get out in our own way. And I think it's because we formulate these beliefs, especially early on in childhood, which prevents us from becoming the person that we need to be in order to fulfill the mission. And when I say fulfill the mission, I don't mean in a biblical, like, prophetic sense, although it might apply to some people that they feel like they have a calling to be a part of this prophecy, to be a part of this grand awakening. And maybe I feel like that, maybe. But okay, where are we? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Maybe we go, I want to find a nice place to sit down. But what was I saying? But yeah, as children we learn that we mimic our parents' behavior. So all the stress they feel, we literally feel that too. Oh, I smell marijuana. And so the neurons in our brain, if you follow Joe Dispenza, check out Joe Dispenza. He's the man on the subject. All you need to do is type in Joe Dispenza, how to rewire your brain, and he just goes into the neuroscience. You don't need to be an expert to listen or understand what he's talking about. You just got to have some common sense, really. Yeah, is this the spot that I had it? Nah, it's not quite here yet. I think it's down there further. Okay, found myself a nice little cozy grove. Sitting down on a big fat tree here. Yeah, this is a nice spot to ground in. So welcome, guys. I'm just going to have a nice little corridor. Nice little chat. Sweet. So, oh man, I got burnt today on my back. On my backsies. Doing that last little gardening, landscaping piece for mum and dad at BD Parade. House is on the market soon, but so that's going to be a big shift. Selling the house, getting that gone. But anyway, back on subject. There are friends, there are people who are watching and listening that are not my friends, that are from other countries, like this guy from Germany. Said, nice one, bro, nice stuff. I'm like, whoa, cool, I don't even know this person. That's so cool. So people from around the world are tuning in, which is super cool. I love that. But yeah, check out Joe Dispenza. He'll basically unpack the entire creator story. It's not a story, it's a reality that we are the creators of our own reality. So the big part of the reason why I went to go fast is because I needed to understand at the experiential level that I am infinite, in the sense that I am spherical energy. Every single proton and neutron and everything, all energy is spherical. And Jam, who goes on to talk about and actually write equations about what spherical energy is, he's made an equation for it. There's maths that unpack what it is now, thanks to Jam. So his name will come out. He's owed money from mathematician places who are like, you know, if you solve this, we're going to give you all of this prize money. But of course they won't give it to him. So it's a funny thing. But ultimately, getting back to what I was saying ages ago, I've done like all of these da-da-da-da-da-da. How am I feeling? What are the benefits? I started talking about that, and then I went into how now my nervous system has contracted. Because when you fast for 3 days, guys, in the bush, man, you expand beyond, like, how do I put this? So I was catching a train back from Swanson, right? And I was feeling so high on life. I was feeling so in tune with everything, with my own body, with spirit, you know, with what I was, you know, what I am, and knowing that and feeling that, knowing that I am infinite. I am just simply energy, infinite energy, in fact. And how do I know that? Well, it's because I felt it. And how do you feel that? Well, you tune into what it might feel like to feel that. And when you feel that, your brain doesn't even know the difference. So that's how you can manifest whatever reality you want. That's a beautiful thing. And it starts by creating a sensation in the body, a feeling of you know, gratitude, for one. So being in the bush really helped me tune into my body, really helped me tune into and reflect upon what it is I'm grateful for. I didn't spend a whole lot of time thinking about the things in my life that I was grateful for, but I was very grateful for being in the bush and seeing all the beautiful things that I was seeing, the landscapes, the water, lots of smiling, lots of sun gazing, and just smiling and opening my heart, and deep breaths, and just feeling really like passionate in the moment, and just having that gratitude and feeling that. And so when I caught the train from Swanson to Britomart, I actually hopped off. I hopped off just before, I got off at Mount Albert. So not just before, like way before, right? And it took me about 4 hours to venture back to Britomart. You know, I stopped at the zoo. I actually did a big thing around the zoo. And the zoo's great, by the way. It's quite fun. But like, don't go to the zoo as a tourist. Go to the zoo as someone who's just freshly awakened. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not, look, I'm not claiming that I'm awakened, but it felt like I had awoken some serious memory, and that I remembered who I was, and that I felt so in tune. I felt very joyful. I felt connected to my nature. I started to feel what it was like to not have all of this bullshit dragging me down, to have none of that on me, and to be stripped back to what it is to be a human being, or a spiritual being having a human existence. And it's pretty much just joy. It's actually just joy. So I'd go around and I'd look at people, and these people with their funny faces and their funny clothes, talking in their funny ways, with their funny friends, like, it was actually quite funny. Like, it was a humorous thing, just appreciating people for, like, their essence, their energy. And I was tuning into some people, and some people had interesting energy to tune into, others had like nice energy. To be honest, this is going to sound weird, guys, but when you tune into children running around, like they're laughing and they're having fun, it's the most beautiful, beautiful thing. Because for a moment, you're actually no longer a sickened, conditioned adult that's got layers of baggage and conditioning and programming. You've actually just cut all of that out, and now you're back to this real natural, beautiful, like raw essence. And it's just a reflection, really. So what we connect to in these children running around is the inner child in us, you know, the person in us, the child that exists within. And it's a wonderful sensation to get to tune into that, because what happens is you start to have more joy, and there's no, you don't take things so seriously, you know. That's one thing. And I'll start using more I language. It's really important. Like you this, you that. We talk about that in the men's circle. It's really important to use I language, because then you own your experience, and when you own your experience, it's very powerful. Your statements, your words are very powerful. But really what fasting can do, guys, to bring it back again, is ultimately strip all the layers back. You feel like you reconnect with your nature. You can choose what you want to tune into more consciously, because we tune into things all the time. People are like really unhygienic with what they tune into. Like these so-called empaths will tune into everything and anything without any filtration, without any discernment. A lot of women do that because they're naturally more, I think, you know, women have an amazing ability to tune to their man's nervous system. And I know it goes the other way around, but there's this huge safety thing that I've talked about with my friends who say that seems to be the case. And I think women just naturally want to tune into other people's energies and frequencies, because then they trust that there's resonance, because there's regulation in the nervous system, and then they tune into someone else, and if it's regulated, they can feel safe, right? It's a good hallmark for them. And so, yeah, fasting in the bush, it really helps discernment come in and go, actually, I want to tune into this. Or if you've tuned into the wrong thing, you go, okay, that, you know, I've tuned into that. I can come back now. I'm more aware. So it promotes awareness and consciousness. Definitely, for sure. Guys, I was so joyful. I was riding synchronicity. Like, I got off that train because I just felt like I needed to, and I trusted fully, you know. It's just, so what happens when we start shedding back all of these layers is that we start to trust and have so much faith in how everything is divinely orchestrated. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. You're the creator of your reality. You just don't know it yet. You are an infinite being. You don't know it yet. Because knowing and believing are two different things. And the reason why I went to the bush to do this is so I could sort of transform that belief into a knowing. And I've accumulated enough experience within me to know that I transcended into that state of knowing. And I think that's in my DNA now. It just knows that. What happens is that when I collapse back into my contraction, which I have done last night, actually, in fact, I had a blowout. Too many drinks. I got excited. It was so good. I was looking at the sun. I was drinking a beer. It was fucking like heavenly, right? I was indulging. It was so good. Didn't enjoy myself, but I took it too far because I just kept going. And then I ate food too late. Like I ordered some more dumplings and I got some more of this. And I was just like, well, it's back to that whole I can afford it, right? This is what we do. as we think we're on top of the world, and we are in a sense, and then we feel so good that we can afford to, you know, decompress and or contract. And unfortunately, that belief does not serve us in any shape or form. But we do it anyway because it's one of our core beliefs. So check it out. We got Nukini. This is from where's this from? 4 Visions. So let's give this a go. Oh yeah, doesn't smell that fresh, to be honest, but then again, my nose is probably not the best nose to test for this exact thing. I've got a wonderful sense of smell. My ability to smell things is actually quite incredible. It's actually one of my powers, you know. It's a gift and a curse, because if you get a smelly whiff, it's like, oh crikey, you know. 3rd mosquito. So 4th mosquito, you just got to get used to it, guys. If you go to the bush, you know, it's better in winter because then there's no mosquitoes. Do it in summer, you're just going to get nuked. Alright, so I'm having a little rapé here. Yeah, feel free to join. So guys, where was I? Yeah, I had a blowout. You know, I had a blowout, and when I drink, I become a whole lot less conscious. And when I become a lot less conscious, I make subconscious decisions. So I made a decision last night to contract again. And so here I am reflecting, feeling it in my nervous system. It's been pretty dysregulated most of the day. So I've decided to take accountability and actually, like, you know, I said I was going to make a YouTube video today, so I'm doing it. I don't feel regulated. I feel a little bit whacked out. I'm hoping and praying. Nah, I'm not hoping and I'm not praying. I know that by tomorrow, my nervous system is going to be very, very regulated, and I'm still going to be basking in the medicine that I have been receiving for the last few days. I'm going to be basking in that medicine again, because that medicine is here to stay. I've done it. You know, it's in my body now. I just need to tune into it. So, yeah. But I choose now to be in that medicine. So, with the Hape tobacco, it's very grounding medicine. It's really yummy. It's quite strong. Well, hopefully this is quite strong. The application can actually impact everyone differently. For me, it's a good bang, and then it takes 20-30 seconds to really start working and doing its thing, and then that sensation can last quite a long time. But it's strong for the first 5 minutes or so, and then it can taper out maybe 10 minutes. But for some people on their first time, it can last a lot longer. But this medicine will stay, the grounding sensation will stay for up to an hour, maybe 2, maybe even longer. But yeah. So guys, haush, gonna ground back in here. So essentially, through the law of attraction, you can get whatever you want. So I've been following synchronicity, and it's so beautiful, it's so harmonic, it's just so nice to receive and to be in that state, because it doesn't matter what happens, you respond to life, you no longer react. And it's such an important distinction to make, to remain aware. So what I learnt is that I've learnt something about my purpose, because that was the whole point, really. The whole point was to discover what my purpose was, and to tune into what that might look like for me in the future. I have to create the person that can fulfill that particular mission, that particular purpose. I have to create that person. Because currently the person who I am, who Roman Bostock Ord is, has some belief that he cannot reach that. Because there are things that make me contract, things that pull me back. So I have to create a whole new person to attract the things that will align with my mission and my purpose. And my purpose is to awaken humanity. Like, I know that for sure. I know that in my blood, I know that in my bones. And by awakening humanity, it might sound grandiose. I don't mean I'm going to single-handedly wake humanity up. That's not. I don't think any one person, it's a collective effort. The moment people start tuning in to their own. So the whole point of this is, right, is that if I say anything that resonates, hopefully this ripples out. This ripples out. So anybody who's listening now, maybe it shifts something within them. Maybe they become inspired. Or maybe they wake up to the fact that they are the creators of their reality. So I'm already doing it. I'm already awakening humanity in that sense. So how? How will I awaken humanity? This is the question. And I think by recording myself doing this stuff and talking about consciousness, talking about deep stuff that's meaningful, that makes a difference, that makes an impact, that helps people to grow, that is definitely in alignment with my how. So that's one way. Another way will be space creating amazing spaces for people to go deeper into themselves. Facilitation, that might be men's work. They might be traveling the world and finding conscious communities who are doing the work and contributing to that and having a meaningful impact in those spaces. But architecturally, to create the spaces too, to build the infrastructure for those spaces. That's kind of in my DNA. Is to build the physical reality, the physical dimensions of a space where people can really go deeper within themselves. So the only vehicle that they need in that space is the intention that's held within the space. Their vehicle is their consciousness, to go inward, to discover and unlock and realize they are the creators of their reality. They are infinite. They can manifest whatever they want, whatever abundance they so choose, because we are that. And by looking at the sun, what I've learnt is that it's really helped me find and access joy, because it's really hard not to look at the sun and not feel grateful, because it is literally the energy that we receive from the sun is essentially that. It's energy is fundamentally unconditional love. Love is energy. Energy is love. When you really tune into it, and my mate Jam, he's written an equation and he's proven this, and this is already baseline information for a lot of people, that energy itself, consciousness itself, is love. That's the highest vibration. That's the fifth mosquito now. And so it's very exciting to know that on a deeper level and to embody it. Now it's about actually putting it into action, daily action. So daily action might look like taking steps towards fulfilling that purpose, that mission, that'll to be in alignment with your highest state. And so what that looks like for me, the daily action would be reading Jam's book, spending some time meditating, looking at the sun, tuning into all the sensations that I want to create, the person that I want to create to fulfill the mission. Daily practice. 5 minutes is easy, 10 minutes is harder, half an hour is medium, an hour is hard, so how much work are we willing to put in? Because it's earned, right? The life that we live is earned, in the sense that we have to make a conscious effort. We have to decide that we awaken in this life. It's up to you. You have free will, in the sense that we might not have as much free will as others, because our free will is a conscious decision, and a lot of us are operating subconsciously. We're reacting to life. So how do we consciously respond to life? Well, by taking daily action. It's very important. We have to create habitual routines in our life, some discipline around our mission, daily action, so we can actually build the momentum and create and sculpt the person. So creation is love, so by creating, we love, and we love our creations. It's a harmonic feedback loop. So it's a compounding effect. The more we create, the more we love, the more we love, the more we create. So knowing this, we want to consciously move forward with our daily action and decide who it is we want to be and decide what life we want to live. Do we want to have a mediocre life? Do we just want to stay chill and, you know, not awaken in this life, remember who we are, what we came here to do? Or do we want to awaken to that? Because for me, I know it's super clear that this life, it's a very meaningful life. It's a very meaningful life. I have the decision to decide that this is the life that I awaken in. And so I urge you to inquire, is this the life you choose to awaken into? And if so, what steps will you take? And I think some baseline things are checking out Joe Dispenza, you know. I'll put a link in for Jam's website as well. Check his book out. It's free. You can download the PDF online. Fucking awesome stuff. About how the heart is a compass. You know, this heart, the singularity pulse is what literally drives the entire planet, you know. And how this is why we're winning. This is why we can't. Fear is one of the lowest vibrations, and by operating from the heart, you know, there's no more fear. We don't make fear-based decisions. We're not reacting to life. We respond with love. And so by cultivating a wonderful space within us, we can actually attract the life that we want. So there's many ways of going about it. But here we are, 37 minutes into the video. And if you stuck around this long, I think you are one of the people who have decided to awaken in this life, because what I'm saying resonates with you and it excites you, and you're still here and you're still listening. So bravo to you, you're a part of the club. We're here to awaken humanity, and we're here to do it together. How and why? These are very important, infinite questions. Why is the most infinite question there is. Why? And you always hear toddlers saying, why? They want to know. They are infinite beings. They know this. And so when we tune into them, you know, we understand what our nature is. So that's what I've noticed with teachers, you know, people who have kids, who are managing kids. Either they go one way, they go resentful, bitter, they don't have control over the kids and they get all frustrated and pent up, and others who just sort of learn to enjoy, and it's this natural side effect of being around children is actually absorbing that beautiful raw energy, that nature, their nature. It's a reflection of who they are and what life is on the most fundamental level. So yeah, if you're around, you've decided to wake up. Fucking oath, good stuff. So I'll close it up. Basically, take the time to decide whether or not that this is the life. You don't have to decide now or tomorrow. Keep tuning into the videos. I'm going to keep changing the topics, figuring out what it is that I need to talk about on the day. But ultimately, I love you guys. Thanks for sticking around. I feel blessed. I feel strong. I feel good. I feel balanced. I feel fantastic. And I want to have a wonderful night with my friends. I've got some cousins coming over. We're going to have a wonderful barbecue, have some beers. I'm not going to get carried away. And we're going to just enjoy. That's what life's about. Just enjoy. Have a wonderful life. Kia ora whanau. Roman, back at it again. With the bro Josh.
Hello.
Just chilling here. Waikiki Paradise.
Beautiful.
Check it
Beautiful
out.
Friday evening.
Isn't this just gorgeous?
Sunny.
Out in the sun. Guys, we just had oysters.
Oysters, bro.
Ladies in the kitchen making some bagels.
Can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
I can't actually.
I can't believe it. We've been playing with the accents.
Where are we from?
We've been trying to do the South African accent. The bro had a really good English.
Yeah. Yeah. Voulez-vous? French is all that's coming to mind now. Yeah.
French. We've been playing around a little bit.
Not bad, bro.
This is Emily.
Bonjour!
My cousin Emily.
Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome.
To the party.
It's okay.
Tout okay?
This is not for
To the party.
The French accent is very hard.
It's very hard.
Okay, the tomato
that's
sauce
really
will be
good.
the stand.
And nice for the stars. After that. Oh, nice.
Go the old-fashioned way.
Oh my god, look at that. Check it out, we got the burgers. Oh my god,
This is
cameras.
for your YouTube.
Is this for your YouTube, she says. Look how burnt she is. She got too much sun today. You know what again?
Yeah. Knife for each sauce.
Sauce.
Knife for each sauce.
Did you get a knife for the mustard?